Introduction. This isn't a self-help book. It's a battle manual. The world isn't getting softer. It's getting louder, faster, and more chaotic. And if you're not training your mind, your body, and your spirit to face the chaos, you're already behind. This book isn't about motivation. It's about transformation. About building a mindset forged in pressure. One that doesn't flinch. Doesn't fold. Doesn't wait for permission. What you're holding is a collection of battlefield principles, pulled straight from the world of special forces and applied directly to the war we all face, life. You don't need to wear a uniform to act like a soldier. You just need one thing, a mission. Something worth bleeding for. Sacrificing for. Climbing for. Each chapter is a weapon. Use them. Study them. Apply them. Because life won't give you perfect conditions. It'll give you pain, pressure, and problems. And the world is watching to see what you do with it. So gear up. Dig in. And let this be your call to arms. Chapter 1, The Unbreakable Mindset, What It Means to Have a Special Forces Mentality. When we talk about toughness, people often picture physical power, big muscles, relentless workouts, or action movie stunts. But here's the truth, real toughness starts in your mind. That's what separates Special Forces soldiers from the average person. It's not just about what they can do with their bodies, it's about what they believe, how they think, and how they respond under pressure. The unbreakable mindset is the foundation for everything else. The foundation of the Special Forces mentality. Special Forces soldiers are trained to endure situations that would break most people. But they aren't born different. They're trained to think differently. Their real weapon. Mental resilience. The kind that tells you, I don't stop when I'm tired. I stop when I'm done. This mindset doesn't belong exclusively to the military. It belongs to anyone who chooses to adopt it. Whether you're a student, a single parent, an entrepreneur, or someone trying to get back on their feet, this mindset can be yours. You don't need a uniform to become unbreakable. The traits that define the unbreakable. Let's break it down. Resilience, life throws punches. Resilient people get back up. Every single time. Discipline, it's not about motivation. Motivation fades. Discipline gets you up when you'd rather sleep. It makes you do the hard things, consistently. Focus, in chaos, stay locked in. Soldiers are taught to find clarity in confusion. You can do the same, learn to block out the noise. Purpose, why do you do what you do? Purpose is your compass. When things get tough, purpose keeps you moving. Real-life applications. Ever tried to get in shape but gave up after 2 weeks? Tried to launch a side hustle and stopped when it got hard? That's where this mindset kicks in. Special Forces soldiers don't have the luxury of giving up. And you shouldn't either. This doesn't mean you won't fail. It means you'll keep going after you fail. You'll build the habit of pushing through discomfort. Start small. Commit to one uncomfortable thing every day. Wake up when your alarm goes off, no snoozing. Go for a run even when it's raining. Make the hard phone call instead of avoiding it. Each of these choices rewires your brain. It builds grit. Over time, those small wins compound. And suddenly, you're stronger than you were a month ago. That's the power of choosing the unbreakable mindset. Mental toughness in action, Hacksaw Ridge. If you've seen Hacksaw Ridge, you know the story of Desmond Doss, the medic who saved 75 men during one of the bloodiest battles of World War II without carrying a single weapon. Now that's a mindset. Doss didn't have a gun. What he had was conviction, courage, and a complete refusal to quit. He kept running back into the fire to pull men out. Over and over. Injured. Alone. Under constant threat. That's what it means to be unbreakable. He wasn't the biggest. He wasn't the strongest. But his mind? Unshakable. Ask yourself, when things are hard, really hard, do you run toward the fire, or away from it? If you want to change your life, you need to develop that mental callus, the same way you build muscle in the gym. Start with your internal dialogue. What do you say to yourself when things get hard? I can't do this. I'm not cut out for this. This is too much. That inner voice. You need to rewrite its script. This is hard, but I've got this. One more rep. I don't quit. Talk to yourself the way a special forces soldier would. Replace doubt with determination. Make it a habit to override fear with action. How to adopt the special forces mentality. Here's a practical plan. 1. Morning discipline. Wake up early. Make your bed. Do something uncomfortable first thing. Cold shower. Workout. Writing. Something that demands effort. 2. Physical challenge. Move your body every day. Doesn't have to be a marathon. A 30-minute walk. A push-up challenge. You're not just training your body, you're sharpening your mind. 3. Mental reps. When you want to quit something hard, don't. Stay with the discomfort. Train your brain to understand that pain doesn't mean stop. It means grow. 4. Daily review. At the end of each day, ask. What did I do that made me proud? Where did I flinch? What will I do better tomorrow? Journaling. This builds awareness. Awareness builds change. Final word, the battle is you versus you. At the end of the day, this mindset isn't about becoming a Navy SEAL. It's about becoming the version of yourself who doesn't back down when life gets tough. That version of you already exists, you just have to strip away the excuses, the hesitation, and the self-doubt. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your standards. So raise them. Sharpen your mind like a weapon. Build your life like it's a mission. And never, ever, quit. Because if you can master your mind, you can master anything. Chapter 2, The Power of Never Giving Up, Lessons from the Battlefield. What separates those who win from those who almost win? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not even skill. It's persistence, the sheer unwillingness to quit. In life, there are going to be moments where everything in you screams to stop. When your legs are shaking, your spirit is breaking, and your mind is begging you to quit. And it's in those moments where greatness is born. Why we quit, and how to fight it. Most people quit not because they're incapable, but because quitting is easy. It feels safe, comfortable, logical. Your brain's job is to protect you from pain, and persistence often requires you to walk right into it. But here's what the special forces know: pain is temporary. Regret lasts forever. They train you to embrace suffering, to find calm in the storm, to lean into pain, not away from it. Because what's waiting on the other side is pride, growth, and real change. Desmond Doss, Persistence in Motion. Let's return to Hacksaw Ridge, a true masterclass in refusing to quit. Desmond Doss wasn't fighting enemies with a rifle, he was dragging men off a battlefield where death was almost certain. Most would have stopped. After the first few saves. After the first wound. After the bullets kept flying. But he didn't. Just one more, he kept saying. Over and over. One more life. One more soul. This is the spirit you need to embody. When life knocks you down, say to yourself, just one more. One more job application. One more rep, one more try. That's the difference between almost and accomplished. How to build grit in your own life. You might not be on a battlefield, but your challenges matter. Your fight matters. Here's how to develop grit in the everyday trenches of life. 1. Start with non-negotiables. Pick one thing each day you won't back out of, no pages of reading. A daily workout. No phone for the first hour of the day. You're training your brain that commitment to comfort. 2. Embrace discomfort on purpose. Take cold showers. Wake up earlier. Run in the rain. These controlled stressors build your resilience muscle. 3. Visualize the victory. See yourself pushing through. Picture the win. Athletes do it. Soldiers do it. Because if your brain believes it, your body will follow. 4. Find your why. Your purpose is the fuel. Why are you doing this? Who are you doing it for? Dig deep. When the going gets tough, your why will keep your feet moving. 5. Practice controlled failure. Do things where you're likely to fail. It sounds counterintuitive, but repeated failure teaches your brain that falling is okay, as long as you stand back up. Mental conditioning, Navy SEAL style. SEALs are taught to push past their mental limit. One rule they live by is the 40% rule. When your brain says you're done, you're only 40% done. Think about that. Next time you want to stop, remind yourself, you've still got 60% in the tank. Push a little further. It's not about massive leaps. It's about micro decisions. The small wins. One extra rep, one more second. That's how grit is built. And it snowballs. Obstacles are opportunities. Look at your biggest challenges right now. Maybe it's a failing business, a broken relationship, a dream that seems too far away. Reframe them. Obstacles aren't blocks, they're blueprints. Every time you overcome one, you grow. Persistence isn't just about reaching a goal, it's about becoming the person who's capable of reaching it. And that transformation, that's what changes your life. Build your anti-quit system. Let's get practical. Here's a system you can start using today. A. The why wall. Create a visible board with reasons you won't quit. Photos. Quotes. Notes from people you love. Place it somewhere you see daily. B. The fall forward. Log every time you fail or want to give up. Write what happened and what you learned. Progress isn't linear. This keeps the momentum going. C. Accountability partner. Someone who will call you out when you slack. Not a cheerleader, a teammate who holds you to your standard. Your legacy is built in the moments you want to quit. You don't build legacy during comfort. You build it in the storm. In the fight. In the mud. When no one's watching and quitting seems rational. You're never as far from victory as you think. Sometimes it's just one more try. So when it gets hard, and it will, dig in. Breathe. Focus. Say it to yourself, just one more. Because the life you want is on the other side of not giving up. Chapter 3, Leading from the Front, the Code of Special Forces Leadership. Leadership isn't a rank. It's not about barking orders, titles, or medals. Real leadership, the kind that creates impact, earns trust, and changes lives, starts with example. And no one understands this better than Special Forces soldiers. They lead from the front. Always. Not just in combat, but in life. What it means to lead from the front. In the Special Forces world, if you're not out front, you're not leading. Leadership means stepping up when things are uncertain, dangerous, or downright impossible. It's carrying more weight, walking through the mud first, and being the last to eat. That kind of leadership creates loyalty, respect, momentum. People don't follow words, they follow actions. And they especially follow leaders who aren't afraid to get dirty first. In your world, this means being the first to admit a mistake, the first to try something uncomfortable, and the one who never asks others to do what you wouldn't do yourself. The traits of elite leadership. Whether you're leading a team, a family, or just your own personal mission, here's what leading from the front looks like. Accountability, no excuses. Own everything, your wins and your losses. Humility, you don't need to be the loudest. Great leaders listen more than they speak. Courage, fear is normal. Action despite fear is what makes you a leader. Service, leaders eat last. Put your people first. Make their success your priority. Battlefield lessons that translate to real life. In combat, hesitation can get people killed. Decisions must be made under stress, with incomplete information. It's messy. It's intense. But it teaches you how to stay calm when others panic, how to prioritize what really matters, and how to move forward even when everything is on fire. In everyday life, you might not be under fire, but you're still facing chaos. Business failures. Deadlines. Family stress. And the principles are the same. Make decisions quickly, not perfectly. Communicate clearly, under pressure. Inspire trust, through action, not talk. Leadership under fire, a Hacksaw Ridge parallel. Desmond Doss didn't have rank. He didn't have a weapon. But every man on that ridge followed his lead. Why? Because he led with courage. With conviction. He risked his life for others, again and again. That's leadership. It's not about being the strongest or the smartest. It's about being the most dependable when it counts. You might not be dragging wounded soldiers, but your leadership might look like showing up for a teammate when they're struggling. Making a hard decision that no one else wants to make. Choosing integrity when cutting corners would be easier. The discipline of decision-making. One major lesson from the Special Forces: indecision is a decision, and usually the wrong one. In high-stakes environments, delay is deadly. You need to train yourself to gather intel quickly. Make the best decision with what you have. Move, and adapt as needed. In business, leadership, and life, that same skill is priceless. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It won't come. Decide. Act. Adjust. How to build a leadership routine. Here's how to start leading from the front in your own life. 1. Daily leadership habits. Be early. Leaders are never late. Take responsibility for mistakes, yours and your team's. Practice active listening. Ask more questions. 2. Weekly reflection. What leadership moment did I step up? Where did I play small or pass the buck? Who can I build up this week? 3. Read and study. Great leaders are learners. Devour books. Listen to podcasts. Study people who lead well under pressure. 4. Mentorship. Find someone you can lead, and someone who can lead you. Leadership is passed on. Building the team mentality. Special forces thrive on unity. No one fights alone. No one is above the mission. That means sharing wins and losses. Protecting the weakest link. Building each other up, constantly. You can build that culture anywhere, your workplace, your friend group, your family. It starts with you. Be the kind of person people want in their corner. Leading yourself first. The hardest person to lead? Yourself. Before you can inspire others, you need to be disciplined with your own actions, your own time, your own habits. No one follows a leader who can't lead themselves. Ask yourself, do I do what I say I'll do? Am I consistent, even when no one's watching? Do I embody the values I expect in others? Final word, leaders are made, not born. Special Forces leadership isn't about being superhuman. It's about consistency, courage, and character. It's built in the trenches, day by day, decision by decision. You don't need a battlefield to lead. You just need a life worth leading. And people worth showing up for. So, start today. Lead in the little things. Own your actions. Step up when it's hard. Because the world doesn't need more talkers. It needs more doers. Be the one who leads from the front. Chapter 4, Adapt and Overcome, Thriving in Chaos. In the world of special forces, things rarely go to plan. Missions shift. Weather turns. Communications break down. But the mission doesn't pause for perfection. That's where one of their most powerful principles comes in: adapt and overcome. When things fall apart, that's when the real test begins. Why adaptability is the real superpower. Rigid plans don't survive contact with reality. Life is unpredictable. The people who thrive aren't the ones who expect smooth sailing, they're the ones who know how to steer in a storm. Special Forces soldiers are trained to stay calm, stay sharp, and pivot fast. They don't break when the unexpected hits. They shift. They flex. They solve. That's what you need to develop: fluid strength. The ability to stay locked in on your goal, while adjusting your approach as many times as it takes. Mindset shift: chaos is opportunity. Most people crumble under pressure because they expect comfort. But the best don't just survive chaos, they look for it. They understand that growth comes from friction. When you hit a wall, don't panic. Don't complain. Ask, what's the next move? Flexibility is not weakness. It's precision under pressure. Real-life adaptability, the business battlefield. You launched a business. Sales tanked. The market shifted. Competitors came out of nowhere. What now? Most freeze. The unbreakable adapt. Maybe the product needs a change. Maybe the messaging missed. Maybe you need to rebuild the whole damn thing. So be it. The mission isn't your first plan. The mission is the outcome. Get there, no matter what it takes. The rules of adapting like an operator. Stay calm under fire. First instinct when things fall apart. Breathe. Panicking clouds judgment. Calm creates clarity. Reassess and reorient. What's changed? What resources do you have? What needs to be done next, not eventually, but now? Take action immediately. Don't wait for perfect. Execute the next best move with what you've got. Keep the mission first. Don't get emotional about your plan. Be loyal to the goal, not the strategy. Hacksaw Ridge moment, improvising under fire. Desmond Doss wasn't handed a step-by-step manual. He made decisions in seconds. No backup. No clear path. Just instincts and mission focus. When he ran into gunfire to drag out a soldier, he didn't know what would happen next. He adapted. And saved lives because of it. You don't need a battlefield to practice this. You just need life. Chaos training, how to build adaptability. Do things that don't go as planned. Travel. Take improv classes. Get lost. You'll train your brain to stay cool when control slips. Build a contingency habit. For every plan you make, ask, what if this fails? Create backup options before you need them. Daily flex drill. Once a day, change something up on purpose. Your route. Your workout. Your approach. Train yourself to move fluidly. Final word, flexibility is strength. Being strong doesn't mean being stiff. It means being unshakable, not immovable. Because chaos will come. Storms will hit. But when you train yourself to adapt and overcome, you won't just survive it, you'll own it. So, when the plan falls apart, don't break. Bend. Pivot. Win anyway. Conclusion. This isn't the end, it's the start. You've got the mindset, the tools, and the fire. Now it's time to apply them. Life won't slow down. Challenges won't stop. And comfort won't lead you anywhere worth going. Special Forces mentalities are built through action, daily, relentlessly. So ask yourself, when it's hard, who will you be? Then go prove it. Show up. Step up. Don't wait. Don't quit. Lead yourself. Lead others. And never back down.